Bonjour. Je m'appelle Belle. Et comme je peux à toi? Okay, I can speak English. How may I help you today? You'd like a book recommendation? You've come to the perfect person. I was simply reading this book right here, and I find it fascinating. I think it's probably one of the best books that I've read. You get so involved with the story and the characters, and you just find yourself lost within it. It's a true masterpiece, in my opinion. It's something that I'd probably recommend to anyone. But here, look at this. This character right here. She ends up meeting her Prince Charming, but she ends up realizing that he's not her Prince Charming. He's actually, a very cruel man who's just using her, and that's something that she won't realize until chapter 3. I mean, you can't get better than that. It's filled with twists, and the characters are not what they seem. I mean, there's a priest who is actually a sinner. There's a gypsy woman who's actually the most clean and pure. There's a soldier who's actually defending injustice rather than justice. And there's a hunchback who, though he's quite physically repulsive to everyone, he's actually the most beautiful person on the inside, and he responds loyally to kindness when he's shown it. And it's really a beautiful book, although I do believe it's going to end sadly, and that in itself is something I'm kind of readying myself, so that way I can, I won't get too affected by the blow. However, if you're looking for a book, I can simply recommend you this one. Here, let me find another book for you. I was also having this book. Oh, give me one moment, my throat is parched. Come here. This is my friend. His name is Chip. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me just put you right back. Okay. This book that I have here is more of an abridged version of the story. It's only this thick, and I do believe that there's 143 pages. Oh, I was incorrect. There's actually... This book actually only has 116 pages. See? It's quite small. Yeah, let me just flip to the last page. See? Only 116. That's quite peculiar. And then this book that I just showed you, the one that I was just reading, although, here, let me simply finish up the last line. Once I finish this last line, I'll see what I'll do with it. But let me simply read. I only have 2 more paragraphs to go, so let me simply... goodness. Sometimes when you read the ending of a book, it fills you with this sort of incomparable feeling of completion, and also as if you'd witnessed an entire person's life laid bare and vulnerable in front of you, and you had just finished the end of their story, and you feel like you yourself are going to end in the same last sentence period marking the rest of your life. This book is amazing. It's something I would recommend tenfold. It's something that's very moving, very well written. It was written by Victor Hugo. It was published, I believe, in the early 1700s, perhaps, maybe earlier. But it is something that I'm still reeling back from how powerful that book was. It truly is. There are no words to explain how unfathomable and the reaches to which the emotions that surge when you finish a book feels within you right now. However, as I did state, this book is the unabridged version, so if you'd like it, I can easily give it to you. And if you like this book, which I'm assuming you might want it since it is something I'd highly recommend, and I've read many books. I have a library filled with books, and I don't mean a small library filled with books. I have a library that goes from wall to wall, filled with all sorts of books that you can imagine. Books from the Orientals to the West to any land you could possibly imagine. It's something that, it's, in my opinion, a ninth wonder of the world. It's something to die for. My beautiful husband, Adam, who was formerly known as the Beast, gave it to me as a present while we were still courting, and it's something that I will always cherish him for. It's something that I feel in peace with. So, in the harmony of bibliophiles and people who love books, if you'd like this book, I can easily give it to you along with the unabridged version of the book, so that way you can have a better idea as to what these books are concerning. Would you like that? How spectacular. Why would I give you books? These are completely free. You can have them, and the reason you can have them is because whilst I was still a peasant back in, the town, in the little town that I grew up in, there was a bookshop owner there who, in the kindness of his heart, let me have books, and because of this, I felt indebted to him, and I felt that if there ever came a day where I would own my own bookshop, I would simply give out books to people who truly loved them, because that's where books truly belong, with people who would find the depth to which the author was trying to portray or to convey. And I want to please both the author and the reader in that sense. So that's why I want to show the same generosity that bookshop keeper showed me to others, so that way everyone can have a chance to have a relationship with an author that conveyed their feelings or thoughts onto the written word. So I will be giving you these books, and there you go. If you want to bring them back, feel free to do so. I'll simply store them back into my library, and if you do, it'll give someone else the chance to also read them as well. However, if you feel passionate enough to keep them for yourself, then I won't look down at you, I won't judge you. I'll simply think the book was really important to them. You have difficulty understanding English? Here, I have another book for you in that case. It's a book that I used whilst I was trying to learn English as well. It's a dictionary. It's an Oxford dictionary, actually, and it's from French to English. So this is the dictionary. I would recommend you use this as you read, and you simply translate to the best of your ability the words and phrases within the text, because the unabridged version say en français, but the normal book is actually completely English. So if you're uncomfortable reading English, this is definitely the book for you. So if you'd like it, I will be free to give it to you as well. I have plenty of these types of books, so there is no concern of you not returning this. If you decide to keep it, feel free to keep it. In fact, I would encourage you to keep it for future reading endeavors, but I do have plenty dictionaries in my library, so there are going to be plenty for others if they decide to ask the same request of me. Okay? Here, take this book along with you as well. Now, my dear citizen, is there anything else I can help you with today? Perfect to hear then. In that case, have a lovely day. Bye-bye now.